Okay, first thing I'm going to say, as you know, I'm a bit of a reader. I've never read any J.G. Ballard, okay? Never read any J.G. Ballard, so whatever is said here on in is said without that knowledge. Next. So, this is so brilliantly weird. I love this so much. So, we will recall from time gone by, a Yeti on a Lewin Tooting Beck is this strand of Doctor Who, this part of his DNA, whereby you take something really, really unearthly and put it in a normal place. And that's part of the fabric. I know that, it's a poetryism, but it hangs together. Well, this is that dialed up to 11, isn't it? And it just is quite unlike anything else that I think that I've ever seen, that we've seen up until this point. Whilst watching it, I was racking my brains to think, is there anything that's really comparable to Paradise Towers up until this point in Doctor Who? And apart from the trappings, we're running up and down corridors. We've got, tribes. But it's just so weird because it's just bordering our world, especially the world in the 1980s. And yes, I think if you have read J.G. Ballard, if you have delved into a bit of speculative sci-fi and all that kind of thing, then, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree here, with even my scant knowledge of such things. But this is just absolute class. Like the whole stuff with the red kangs at the start and the no visitors, no whatever else. And then Tabby and Tilda being flipping weird. And the Becks just bursting through the door. It's absolutely brilliant. And threatening them, then threatening Mel. And the caretakers. And it being just absurd, but just on the right side of absurd to now and again be just too weird to be comfortable. And God knows what anybody thought this was, flipping 6:30 or whatever on a Wednesday night or whenever Doctor Who was on. But this is just so fabulous. And I just think dropping Sylve in the middle of this is his Doctor's just shining here because it's so absurdly weird and because it's so daft. He is just the perfect Doctor for all this to happen around. Who's the only other one? We always say this could be Troughton, wouldn't it? Troughton's the only one who could pull this off, but he doesn't. Now, I asked my wife what she thought of this, and she refused to say. So let's try again. Lib, what did you think of that episode, Doctor Who?
Do not like.
Oh no! Why?
Well, I didn't want to say before because I don't want to. I'm willing to give it another episode to see, but it just feels too.
Too what? Weird. Too what? Too weird.
Too weird.
Yeah.
It's like I said during the episode, it feels like Biker Grove on acid.
Yeah, Biker Grove on acid.
I'm not sure it's what I'd go to Doctor Who for. It's what I go to Biker Grove for. But I'm willing to give another episode and see if I change my mind.
Oh, just.
The girls are really annoying.
The Kangs.
The Kangs. Yeah,
but they're so good and all that stuff.
No.
What's all that about? What's all that about?
I hate that stuff.
No visitors. Build high for happiness, Lib.
But I like the mad ladies. And then the man busting through the door.
That's so funny.
It's just really. It's like as if you got all the worst things you can think of and put them together.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
And there was no scream from Mel, so that's.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Oh, and Richard Bryars is the caretaker.
Richard Bryars, yeah, I do like
just amazing with his Hitler moustache. Just looking so awesome. Oh. Genuinely, people, there is a popular misconception about McCoy's Doctor and McCoy's era. And what you need to do is you need to hit this really, really hard with wide open eyes and just let it all come into your face because it's so good. It's so good.